Italy and Wales are through. Wales don't want to score. Italy don't want to concede. And Sweden, after scoring three, are still on waiting. To discuss the remaining guys who are going to join them, I have with me Amitesh Mukherjee, Aditya Pimple, and Tanay Hegde. Boys, how's it going?
We're doing good, man.
Yeah, all good, all good. Happy that football has started for us also, so we don't have to just watch on TV.
Yes, and while I want people to know that this is the prestigious Yari Road panel that we have over here. So we're going to get straight into our games, Ukraine versus Austria. Now, Joy, I'll start with you. Ukraine looking strong after their first game. And, Yarmolenko coming to life all of a sudden after having a pretty dead season with West Ham. So where is that game going to go, considering Austria not had the best last game?
I think if we are 2-0 to Ukraine, Austria, I feel like they're so heavily dependent on Alaba. And yeah, I don't see them scoring too many. Even the first game I remember watching, they couldn't put anything together until they actually sent Alaba on the left side, and he put in that cross for that goal. Feel like it could be a good game. Like a lot of these couple of games yesterday, like Switzerland, Turkey, were interesting to good watches. I think it'll be a good watch, but I think Ukraine 2-0 for me. Yarmolenko will get one for sure. I can't predict who's the other one. Who will be the other scorer?
Good, he's my captain. But Tanay, your thoughts on that one?
I agree with Joy, like to a large extent. They are heavily dependent on Alaba. Like to me, they looked a little bit sluggish in their games, like not as well oiled as I thought they would be. And it's not like they're filled with star players or anything like that. But I don't know if it'll be a 2-0 to Ukraine. Everyone's going to be fighting. No one's out of it or anything like that. So, this is a straight shootout, right, for both of them to qualify. And knockout, as good as a knockout game, anything's going to happen. And I can't see Ukraine winning, honestly. But that's my vibe.
But speaking of, it being a straight shootout, now, Aditya, there is also a chance of a draw, which means that 4 points to each team. And with, the whole lucky draw for the best 4 third place teams going through, will that play in the minds of these two teams, or are they treating this as a final?
I think it will, because I think they are drawn on goal difference also. So I don't know whether that is going to matter at the end. But I don't know, Austria, even though they have a better team than Ukraine does, Ukraine seems to be a little more well-drilled, well-oiled, well-managed team. And I think they will be going for a win. And while Austria may look to hedge their bets and kind of play safe. And I think it may be 1-0 to Ukraine, according to me. And I think Macedonia has just 0 points today, right? So even if it's a draw, it's Macedonia is out. So, and Netherlands may play a weaker team also. So both may even end up playing for a draw and then hedge their bets. That may also be possible.
I think probably this game will lack pace because both these teams don't. And speaking of that, I will get straight into predictions. Back to my Bengali friend, Mr. Mukherjee. Give me a scoreline.
For the Netherlands-North Macedonia game?
No, for the Ukraine-Austria game. We've not even started that game. Behave yourself.
I said I think it'll be a 2-0, man. Maybe what Tanya said is making me think about things again, and what Pimple said too. But I feel like it should be comfortable because Austria, I expected a lot from Sabitzer and their ilk, but they haven't so far really shown up. Sabitzer, for example, it's always been Alaba. And I don't think they defensively, at least in the first game and second game, they look kind of shaky too. And Ukraine seem like Pimple said, they are very well drilled, man. So I feel like 2-0 from my end.
Mr. Hegde.
I'm wondering about what they're saying, and I'm thinking if what I said was right. I'm going to say a 0-0 draw. Just to be a little bit. I think that it's going to be super cagey. Like you said, 4 out of the 6 third place will actually go through. Those are really good odds. You don't want to be one of those four, but I mean, you will take it for progression. So I'm going down those lines. So I'm going to say it's going to be a nil.
And Adi, you're sticking with Ukraine?
I'm sticking with 1-0 to Ukraine, but I think it may well be a 0-0 draw because as I said, both may end up playing for a draw and hedge their bets. But yeah, it's going to be a KG game for sure.
You have all predicted that Ukraine will not concede, and I have 0 defenders in my fantasy team. So we will move.
Also, one more thing. Also depends on where Alaba plays. If he starts in the middle of the defense, I don't think Austria has any chance. If he plays ahead, maybe on the left wing, maybe he can change the game on his own.
Probably, I think. But moving on now to a lesser important game, in the group as such. And yesterday, as Shaqiri kind of made me eat my words, we have a certain Pandeyji in the North Macedonia side. So I'll start with you. The Dutch are going to play a weaker side. They're going to rest players. And Macedonia, even with a win, I don't think will be able to progress. So what's this game like?
I mean, Macedonia's out for sure. They're probably going to be playing for pride. It's their first, appearance in the Euros. They've been a decent account of themselves if you have to think of the kind of size of their football, like league legacy, all that kind of stuff. Everyone loves an underdog story and all that. I was happy they managed to score. You could see scoring in the Euros was a win in itself for them. I feel like I've seen Pandev play for ever, since I was in school or something like that. And it's amazing to still see him out there. And you start to get some recognizable names, Elmas, Alioski, people we actually see on a regular basis. So I don't think they're going to be too worried about it. The Netherlands squad is going to be their quote-unquote B team. They're going to want to impress. So I think it'll actually be a really entertaining game. I would watch this over watching Austria and, Ukraine. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go for sure.
And before I ask you for your prediction, you can probably flip over the naughty fan you have next to you. But give me a score. Give me a score.
I'm going to say 3-1 to Netherlands.
Wow. You're playing FIFA or?
It's going to be a good game. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good game.
Joy, do you agree?
Yeah, man. I mean, I really enjoyed watching North Macedonia, even though, they have nothing to show for it still, like Kanal pointed out. They put in some real heart, man, in the first. They don't have the quality to score goals except for Pandev. But yeah, I think it'll be it'll be a high scoring game. I think Netherlands should score more than 2 for sure, 100%. So I'm gonna say 3-0. I don't see them scoring a goal.
Behaving as if North Macedonia has no defenders only. They're gonna be 8 midfielders and 2 strikers. But Adi, give me your final verdict on this one.
I think I've really enjoyed Netherlands play this tournament. They've gone all out in all games, both games that they've played. And today they'll rest their best players for sure. And definitely, I think North Macedonia will score at least a goal. But eventually, I think it will be a 2-1 or a 3-1. But giving Macedonia the first goal, I think would make the match very interesting. Even though they have no chance, they are -3 on goal difference. But I think just to keep the excitement alive, I think I'll go with 3-1 to North Macedonia, with Macedonia to score first.
Wow. So there is a must-win game and there is a game with nothing at stake. But the game with nothing at stake is goals galore and the must-win is KG affair, 1-0, maybe one mistake. Okay, moving on to our next group, our first game. Now we have to talk about this very carefully, okay, because we're on the internet, but is Russia versus Denmark. So first, Denmark, they had a great last game against Belgium. They needed probably the best midfielder in the world to come on and change that game, turn it on its head. Let aside Hazard coming on later on the game, but that game was a complete KDB affair. So Denmark did look good. Russia looks mixed. So starting with you, Adi, where is this going? Because Denmark is on 0 points.
But I think I fancy Denmark to win against Russia. I think even in the first game, I think because of course, the unfortunate events of Christian Eriksen, they were dominating the Finland game. But after all, they ended up losing. And Belgium, you needed KDB and Lukaku to really turn it on for Denmark to lose. So I really back Denmark to win this game against Russia. They have a quality team, even without Eriksen in it. They have good defenders, good holding midfielders. I think I go for a win for Denmark. Predictions later.
And Joy, with your life on the line, would you like to say some stuff about Russia?
No, man. I mean, won't take that chance also. But I mean, from a footballing perspective, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I think Denmark should edge it. This will be I mean, Russia don't seem to have too much going forward. I mean, they seem to be a well-drilled team. I mean, they seem to know what they're doing, and that's not scoring goals or be very, very attacking. Denmark do look really good, man. Like I feel like even at the last game, I can't remember the right winger's name, Jensen, if I'm not wrong. But he was 19 or 20, if I'm not wrong, the young kid. He was flying, and I think they should edge this. I don't think there'll be too many goals, but maybe a goal or two at max. But I see Denmark scoring, if at all, not Russia.
And Tanay, you think the fact that Denmark has more players, I think, playing in probably the higher level leagues or the more recognized leagues as compared to Russia, who I feel somewhere are having selection issues because their best player in the World Cup has started both games on the bench, in Cheryshev. So he probably got their most goals and now he starts on the bench, while the first game there was a 38-year-old Yuri Zirkov who started. So is that selection issues, and is it just the level of club football that is now showing on the international circuit?
I mean, on some level, you have to say yes, it is. Another interesting thing I'd like to point out, I don't know if many other people feel this way also, but in a lot of teams, like say for example Italy as well, players just be from top teams and like not from any of the other or outside the top four. But like you see England with Calvin Phillips from Leeds, or you see Italy with like Locatelli. It's really nice to see, but you are right. Like at the same time, they're playing in leagues itself that are of a higher level. And like Joy said, I can't see Russia scoring. You have Zuba up top, who's really not mobile, and the way things are going when it comes to like world football, you always want that guy up top who's mobile, who's willing to run, create for the others. It's a little old-fashioned and maybe done, as a tactic for this cycle. Who knows when it'll come back, but yeah, I think evolution has left it behind a little bit.
Okay, so let's come to scoreline, starting with you, Aditya.
I think I'll go with a 2-0 to Denmark. That I think I agree with what Joy and Tanay both said, but yeah, I think Denmark 2-0.
I think it's an interesting one because Russia is on a +2 goal difference and Denmark's on a -2. So if there's a 2-0, it really becomes interesting. Joy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think. I mean, they'll also know this, obviously, right? I mean, they'll know that they need to turn that tide in their favor, the goal difference. I feel like it'll be 2-0 too. I don't see Russia. I mean, they'll really, all of us are going for 2-0 scores, so they may make us eat our words later if they show up today. But yeah, I mean, it seems very unlikely. They are, like Anna said, they seem leggy. They're slightly, you pointed out Zirkov was playing last game, maybe he'd start again. And they're slightly older as well. The Danish team is younger. They seem hungrier. They seemed. I like how they attack, man. They're not very direct, but they're very. Their decision making is really sharp. I see them scoring 2 goals. I mean, and Russia drawing a blank, like 2-0 to Denmark.
And
But
now that
it's happening in Russia, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Fine.
Anything
Anyone who's watching this, I did not say that. But Tanay, before you give your scoreline, and now that I've pointed this out, considering that Belgium will be the stronger outfit against Finland, which we'll talk about in our next game, but does that leave Denmark a little vulnerable, considering that they do need to win this game by 3 goals to actually secure that top 2? So will that affect the scoreline?
I mean, it has to. They have to get out there and just like play for their lives, because if they really want to progress, and everyone else is gonna know what's happening. Denmark is gonna. I actually feel like that may play into Russia's hands a little bit, simply because if you know they're coming for you, you can just park the bus and. If you don't have a particularly mobile squad and you're really not interested in scoring, I think it's an amazing tactic. Like, why not? And no one's going to cry about it, saying, "Oh, they only parked the bus." You're going to get the result you need and progress. And that's honestly, that's what's most important at these stages. No one wants to play amazing football, but then go back home. You want to progress. So that's simply it.
While he didn't say it out loud, but when you said park the bus is a tactic and it brings you results, there was an Aditya Pimple in his head abusing me with all the possible words he could with the conversations we've had in the past. Okay, moving on to our last game, which is Belgium versus Finland. Now, it's amazing how Belgium has qualified without getting much use out of players like Hazard and Axel Witsel. Of course, they got KDB back last game and he turned the game for them. But that's a team that can go all the way. And do Finland have enough even to, beat their second team to get anything out of this group? Tanay?
I don't. I feel like the depth Belgium has is frankly astonishing. Like, for an international team, you could put out 2 A teams out there and no one would bat an eyelid. So I think Finland got really lucky to win their first game. After what had happened and the way they scored, they really took their chance. With a team like Belgium, I feel like they will get a chance or two, even if they take it. Like, Belgium's just too strong to, sit back. I agree that they did need KDB to come on and Hazard to come on to really kind of change the game in the previous one, but I don't think they would need as much firepower against Finland squad.
Joy.
No, I mean, Belgium look good, man. I mean, they have, when they turn it on, they really do turn it on. And yeah, Finland, I don't think they're not balanced. Belgium is a very balanced team. I mean, going forward and their midfield, their defense. I think even if they put out a B team, there'll be maybe Dries Mertens and all these guys, right? And these are also top quality players, man. And they're the guys who can just, if they are on it, I mean, they'll do what they want. And I think it should be very comfortable for Belgium. I mean, Finland, I don't see them scoring a goal either again here. Maybe it may not be a very high scoring game, but like a 1-0 or a 2-0 to Belgium for sure. And some players will be new. There'll be players who haven't played. They may be leggy. So yeah, 1-0, 2-0 to Belgium.
And like I was saying, before I move to Aditya, I just wanted to point out that there is a certain Carl Lewis on our chat who loves Timo Pukki. The common thing between the both of them is that they have hair here. So now that I've got that out of the way, Carl, thank you. But Adi, what is your... Oh, Hazard. Hazard has not played 2 games.
Yes, that's their B team.
Exactly.
Belgium's B team has Hazard coming into the side and at least plays 60
I just
minutes.
Is that, one second, but is that form or is that injury or is that just, the combination of the side?
I think it's all of both, of a little bit of both. It's the form is affected by the injury. He's not played a lot for Real Madrid. And he's just getting into that rhythm. You could see him show a little bit of his old magic when he came on. He's still nowhere close to what he can be, and definitely he'll get 60 minutes to just get the feel of the ball, get the feel of the game. So he's there on the point when the the knockout stages come. And I think the only way Belgium lose this match is if they get complacent. If they change a lot of things, especially in defense, because I think they don't look the most assured defensively. If they don't make a lot of changes in defense, if they are not complacent, I don't see how Finland wins this. I'll go with like a 1-0 or a 2-0. If Lukaku doesn't start, then I think it's a 1-0. For me.
I just want to bring to your notice that Belgium's 3 centre backs, 2 belong to Spurs, and 1 is an Arsenal reject. And I'm saying this again, who went to Barcelona and won a trophy without playing a minute. But yes, coming to that, final predictions, boys. Tanay.
I'm gonna say Belgium to win 1-0. That's
okay, Adi.
Yeah.
Same 1-0.
And Joy.
2-0. Just gonna add in a little masala.
I think Joy is doing that Instagram reel, where you have to stay so still that you think it's a picture. The guy's not moved. It's unbelievable. He hasn't moved. I mean, it's pretty much what he does on the field as well. So, Joy, we have a mascot. He's called Ballsy with running with the ball, and on a still image, I think he has moved more than you. But yes, boys, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Hope you liked today's episode. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, click on the bell icon. This was our little Yari Road All Ball special for the Euros games. Boys, thank you for joining. Stay safe.
Represent.
Yari Road represent.
Yari Road. Stay safe, guys.
You guys have a great game day, guys, and hopefully get to see a lot of goals today.
Bye-bye, guys.